Information Zulu out. Stuttgart, Information Zulu.
Okay, dann machen wir den Run-Up direkt neben dir erstmal und dann rollen wir schon vorher dir. Okay, ich mache jetzt auch Run-Up.
Hello, today is the 28th of September and I decided to make this video in English because some of my colleagues on Instagram, they asked me to make a video once in English because they cannot understand this in Russian. So I will try to do my best. Behind of me you can see the MGIMO, our Bristol, and I will fly today to Aalen and back because the initial idea to fly to Augsburg didn't make it due to the weather. We have a good weather very unexpectedly only here in Stuttgart area, something like 100 kilometers to the west and 100 kilometers to the east, and in Augsburg the weather is not that good today. So I decided to repeat my short fly. This is only something like 30 minutes up to Aalen like I did it last week. The airplane has already been checked. We have plenty of fuel, something like, I don't know, more than 50 liters, which gives us about 2.5 hour endurance. So I can fly to Aalen and back for more than 4 times. The inspection didn't show anything which might be wrong with this airplane. So you can see the pitot is open, the chassis is more or less okay. I have cleaned the windshield, which is very important for me, and I'm ready to get into the airplane. But what I did, I installed my camera here behind of me, and we will see if it will work out this time. The Cessna of our neighbors, this one 172, is going to start its engine right now. It will be quite noisy, so now I will fasten the seat belts, close the canopy, and start running before engine run-up checklist. But before engine starts, I will just show you briefly where we are. We are here in this is our airfield Pattonville. So I decided to print it out and to show it to you. And our route will be from Pattonville, from here up to Aalen, which is located something like 80, I think this is something like 80 kilometers to the east from our airfield. We need to take care about all this complicated Stuttgart airspace. Stuttgart Airport, International Stuttgart Airport is here, and here's the airspace around Stuttgart Control Zone. Here in this area we need to fly not higher than 3,500 feet MSL. Here we can fly 4,500, 5,500 and 7,500. But what I learned recently, you can ask flight following, in this case Langen Information, to request Stuttgart to give you permission to climb into the control airspace, which I will definitely do today because I love to fly in the control airspace. Just to avoid some unexpected traffic. A lot of people are still flying without transponder, without FLARM, and this is not really good. So probably they will give me permission to climb at 5,000 MSL, and at least I will do 1/3 of my way in the control airspace. In Aalen here we have our Patton in 2,700 feet. Aalen elevation is what is Aalen elevation? This should be written somewhere here. They have something like 300 meter high than we, and this is already a lot. We will join traffic pattern somewhere here and fly runway 27, or we will try to do direct 09 if 09 is in place. We'll see. Why I decided to print it out? First of all, these plates are already quite old, something like, probably 2 years old. When I started flying, I was always doing this. And the second one, it's good to have something on the paper. I'm a digital guy, but in case if something goes wrong with your digital equipment, it's quite nice to have a map and have a plate, not on the big scale, but really on this A4, which is very handy. Okay, the test is already fired its motor, its engine, and I will now do the same. Okay, now I will run this before startup checklist. First I need to unlock our recovery system, ballistic recovery system, this handle. So first we need to pull the brakes. Now the brakes are fixed. Switch master. I have already switched to have the power for my camera. And the FS1. The FS1, this is this left one display, which will display us the information, flying data and engine monitoring data. So now it's loading, we can continue on that. Master and FS1 is on. Strobe is also on to give the other people an idea that we will start our engine soon. Avionic, the whole avionic remains off to prevent any damages. Thrust gas is an idle. This is all okay. We will need choke because this is already a little bit cold. Engine is cold, yeah. The tank selector stays in the left position. Now we will start the fuel pump and take keys, put it on and start the engine. Good. It's fine. Switch choke off and go for 2000 RPM. And what we also need to do is to switch our CO warner. Okay, now it's on. We will count 60 seconds to initialize, and this is a good thing. If something goes wrong with the heater system and I will got some CO gas in the cabin, I will be notified about that. I'll switch the whole avionic and probably now you will hear me better. Landing glide remains off. Up to now, transponder, let's put it, yeah, it's all in altitude, this is good, probably we will be able to see our track on flight radar 24. Prop pitch goes to 5.4. We need to pull it a little bit back to 2000, 2200. Yeah, this is because of the traffic, because of the Cessna. Select flap for 1. But we will check it completely. This was 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, and back to 1. We will switch now to 1, to 6, 1, to 5. The bucks we will set to 1700, which will give us a warning at something like 1500. And we now need to wait for the oil temperature to become something like 50 degrees. I will use this time to notify our systems that I'm going to fly to Aalen. And by the way, I can put it here. Aalen is Echo Delta Papa Alpha, exactly the one is here. The aircraft was there yesterday, I don't know for which reason. Let me also put here ICAO layer, so I will see the map in a better way. This will be the same as here. Yeah, you see the same layout. And put here Langen information 128, that's about 950. So I can switch the radio with one click after the takeoff. Okay, meanwhile the oil is already 50, even 57. Switch our magnet, check our magnets. Number 2, okay, 100 less. Number 1, also a little bit less. We will start today in 10. By the way, it is already here. We will start in that direction. In case of engine out, we will land here on the left side. There is a plenty of space over there. Fuel pump here is on. Landing light. Now we'll switch the landing light. This is all location will be stored. And by the way, the Cessna is now taking off. So let's wait for about another 2 minutes because of wake turbulence. It's really important because once in my first solo cross-country flight I flew into the wake turbulence of Cessna 172 in Heubach. This wasn't really nice. Here we have 28th of September. This is a Niva, and we'll start about 1500 from EDTQ.
Pattonville Delta Mike Victor Alpha to ready. Delta Mike Victor Alpha started 9-0. Stabilize engine and full power. Okay, we have full power. Quite important. This engine is quite powerful for this airplane, and we need to be cautious and not to overspeed the flaps. The flaps, the maximum speed here for the flaps is something like 139 km/h. You can see it here, or probably you cannot see it here.
Approaching altitude.
Okay, now flap 0. We did it after takeoff checklist, flap 0. We will climb between 130 and 140 km/h. The fuel pump will be switched off over Oeffingen, which is our mandatory
Leaving altitude.
mandatory point, and put the back on 3,200 feet. Now we fly into, well, let's say above us, the Charlie airspace starts at 3,500, so we really need to not to forget about that.